Is Planet X an internet hoax? Or is it a fact? Well, you can say that. You can believe in that. But let me tell you, many renowned scientists on Earth have said that it actually exists and will cross by the Earth. The position of the two planets at the crossing will be so close that the Earth's seismic and magnetic activities will be disrupted, leading to global-scale apocalypses, which will wipe out the majority of humanity as well as life on Earth. What's up, guys? This is JT at X Science, and for those who are still in denial of Planet X, many scientists, including astronomers, physicists, and the like, have spoken out directly or hinted at the existence of a rogue planet or a system of planets that is on a trajectory heading straight towards the Earth. For those who are not aware of the topic, we are talking about another planet in our solar system, or our binary solar system, with a star named Nemesis. This planet is called Planet X, Nibiru, Wormwood, and many different names across times and culture. The one thing in common is that it periodically travels through our solar system, during which time it will cross with the Earth, and this will be a judgment day for you and me. But probably not for the elite. Of course, big governments and agencies are very well aware of this. In 1983, NASA made headlines on the Washington Post and the New York Times when it announced that the IRAS infrared satellite had discovered Planet X lurking somewhere beyond Pluto. The strange thing is, 1 week later, NASA retracted all the announcements, and President Reagan made this part of the US national security mandate and forbid any institution or agency to address this in public. The stranger thing is, since then, it is rumored that the US have been building secret underground shelters. Of course, they would not let the public know of what is incoming, because how can you control a crowd when the crowd knows that they are coming to an inevitable doom? They, of course, keep us in the dark about the position of the shelters and keep it to themselves. It is even leaked that there is an underground rail system linking the capital to an underground shelter under the Denver airport. You can do research about it yourself if you don't believe me, but I have to warn you, there will be a lot of versions and distortion because, of course, they are supposed to be classified information. Russia and China are also rumored to have been building shelters and cities in preparation for war-ending events. Now you might be thinking, if a whole planet is heading towards Earth, how is it possible that nothing strange is happening? Well, that's because the authorities are hiding everything from us. One thing we can all notice is extreme climate events and the ice cap melting that have been attributed to global warming. The second thing is the unusual and dramatic increase in earthquakes and seismic activities around the world. We are of course told that they do not increase, but this is because the United States Geological Society lowered the magnitude scale by 1 and successfully underreported the number of unusually loud earthquakes. Volcanic eruptions has been on the rise as well. You can check out our video on our channels that we talk about the current eruption in Hawaii, which have been going on for 3 months already. Last but not least, this is not very commonly known, but many governments have been spraying substance into the atmosphere. I am not sure what these substances are, but what I know is that these things create a cover of clouds and mist look-alike. The purpose is quite clear. They are trying to hide something in the sky from the rest of the world. Now you have probably heard of the two suns phenomenon, and let me tell you, that is what they are trying to hide. The two suns phenomenon is not an optical illusion, but the second sun that we see is in fact the system of Planet X. From what we know, the sun is either a miniature star or a comet planet, as the famous Chilean astrophysicist Carlos Munoz Ferrada called it. This thing is said to be composed of a lot of iron oxide, and therefore it looks red. Therefore, As the system approaches, it would resemble a second sun in the sky. Now, speaking of Carlos Mundo Ferranda, he is very well known for having calculated correctly many natural events on Earth and in space. For example, in January 19th of the 1939, he forecasted that there would be a disastrous earthquake in Chile on the 24th of January of that same year. And guess what happened? It did happen. A huge earthquake shook Chile for 18 seconds, killing 40,000 people. He successfully calculated many other terrestrial extreme events. But that's not all. He even forecast correctly that Halley Comet's orbit would alter, and we would spend more time closer to the Sun in 1996. What's more terrifying is that he said Nibiru is real. He called it Hercules, and he said it was coming. He first mentioned it in the 1940s, 4 decades before NASA's first ever announcement. Now you can watch this very interesting footage, which was an interview with him in his last years.
Algo muy interesante es que usted hizo un estudio y trazó con cálculos y con todo la órbita de este cometa planeta. Porque usted nos habla y nos dice que es cometa planeta porque su movimiento no es algo normal.
No,
que tiene unas velocidades.
es un cometa planeta porque tiene órbita elíptica como cometa y porque tiene gran masa
Como planeta.
como planeta. Yo lo llamo entonces planeta cometa, o sea, un planeta con cola.
Explica Muñoz Ferrada que este gran astro que se acerca cargado de energía cósmica no cumple las leyes de la mecánica celeste establecidas. Posee una órbita elíptica y viaja entre nuestro Sol y un Sol negro que se encuentra a 32 billones de kilómetros.
Entonces aquí en este gráfico usted nos muestra, en el gráfico, ¿verdad?, de que en este lado está la Tierra, la órbita de nuestra Tierra alrededor del Sol.
Sí, señor.
Y que él penetra en la órbita terrestre, aquí, pasando muy cerca de nuestra Tierra. Entonces tarda
A
desde
14 millones de kilómetros.
14 millones de kilómetros. Entonces acá usted en su gráfico nos presenta lo que es la estrella muerta o el sol muerto. En ese sol muerto él gira.
Aquí a 92 kilómetros por segundo.
Entonces, además de esos 92 kilómetros por segundo, él tiene otra velocidad, que es la más aterradora, ¿verdad? Que es la que se mueve muy
Tiene
rápido.
3 velocidades, hombre.
Muñoz Ferrada confirma que este planeta viaja a 3 velocidades. Una alrededor del Sol Negro a 92 kilómetros por segundo. Otra cerca de nuestro Sol a 76 kilómetros por segundo. Y una tercera velocidad máxima.
Lo máximo lo tiene en la mitad de la órbita. A 300 kilómetros por segundo. O sea, un milésimo de la velocidad de la luz.
Eso es rápido.
¡Uf!
Pronto acontecerá un evento que permitirá que el Hercólogos pueda verse a simple vista.
Este cuerpo no va a pasar desapercibido. Todo el mundo lo va a ver.
Y va a haber gran confusión.
Más que confusión.
Y le van a dar un sinnúmero de interpretaciones a este asunto.
¡Uf! Muchas.
Los astrónomos dirán que lo que se verá es Marte o cualquier otro planeta, pero en realidad es el Hercólogos.
¿Qué consecuencias sobre nuestro planeta?
Las más terroríficas.
Luego,
Cada cual arrégleselas como pueda.
Muñoz Ferrada pronostica 3 grandes terremotos.
He calculado 3 puntos triangulados de alta sismicidad que se aproximan. El norte de la costa del Mediterráneo, Francia y España. la costa sur del Pacífico, de Valparaíso a Arequipa, y Java, Sumatra y Borneo. 3 puntos. Estos puntos van a ser terremotos de carácter volcánico.
El Hercólubus causará devastadores terremotos y provocará una gran transformación.
El gran campo gravitacional que trae ese astro nuevo, que hace 13.000 años que no penetró y que 13.000 años atrás fue en los tiempos de Atlántida perdida, tiene resonancia y efectos que a los reflejos, que a la debilidad. Queda el gran cambio.
Ese gran cambio, el cual usted viene estudiando desde 1940, ¿verdad? Que viene estudiando ese astro. Van 59 años de documentación. Ese gran cambio es humano, además es a la Tierra, porque indica un cambio de polos.
Es geofísico y humano.
Geofísico y humano. Y se habla de que va a haber un cambio de los polos magnéticos de la Tierra.
Son tantas las cosas que lamentable la humanidad no está preparada. El cambio viene. La destrucción viene. Y, más que nada, afectará a la humanidad en su existencia, en su producción, en su subsistencia misma.
So to sum up the main points, Planet X is, according to Faraday, a comet planet, so called because it has the mass of a planet, but an orbit like a comet. This thing does not meet the celestial law that is known to man, and it will cross by the Earth so close that the naked eyes can see it. Mr. Faraday also calculated 3 major earthquake points when Hercolubus arrived, which are the northern areas of the Mediterranean, the southern areas of the Pacific, and Java, Sumatra. You might be wondering, why would a crossing comet planet cause terrestrial seismic disasters? Well, it's simple astronomy. The system of planet X has gravity. That's basic physics. And its gravity is more powerful than that of the Earth, as it approaches, and it is approaching. This causes the Earth's lighter outer core to stall and alter its flow, thus disrupting the normal pattern of the Earth's magnetic activities. This, together with the direct effects from gravity, increases the Earth's wobble, which is, for your information, the tilt in the Earth's rotating axis. What does this do, you say? Anomalies and stretch in the tectonic plates resulting in massive earthquakes, which will soon become the new norm. And what follows earthquakes? Tsunami, volcanic eruptions, mass extinction. Yes, in case you don't know, a major volcanic eruption can throw into the atmosphere more pollutant than humans can ever do. A volcanic eruption caused 1 out of the 6 mass extinctions, and another one brought the human population down to 26,000. Volcanoes are no joke, folks. And that's not the end. As the system of Nibiru arrives, its debris and asteroids will enter the Earth's gravitational fields, and the Earth, already devastated by earthquakes and volcanoes, will have to suffer a comet rain. A reminder for you, asteroid impact killed off all the known avian dinosaurs, so it is legit to fear this happening because it will trigger a series of mass extinction causing events, and that spells out doom. Another warning, quite a subtle one, that we received recently is from an English physicist named Brian Cox. Mr. Cox teaches physics and astronomy at the University of Manchester. A bit of background information. Mr. Cox is publicly known as a denier of Planet X. He has publicly ridiculed the theory. Yet we need to be mindful here, because these official scientists and institutions depend on the governments for their livelihood. Not to mention, addressing Nibiru directly is forbidden because of national security. Therefore, it is very likely that all the denial that we see are forced on them by the power that be. Why I am saying this in the case of Cox? Well, he was featured in a BBC documentary in which he explained how asteroid brought water to the Earth and caused the non-avian dinosaurs to go extinct. Then, as the end of the video approaches, the cameras, which were pointing outside a window on a train, pan toward the sky and reveal two suns behind the tree line. Two suns behind the tree line. So they are definitely not lens flares, nor can they be photoshopped. Because why would you spend that much time and effort making a video of two suns when you are a public denier of the phenomenon? And that is strange because BBC and Cox himself let that scene pass by at the editings and be published. We all know the second sun is approaching Nibiru, and so this act must be a subtle hint to warn the public that Planet X is actually real. It is not an internet hoax as these scientists are forced to accuse it of being one. Also, if Nibiru wasn't real, why would NASA keep sending out its top scientists to, say, debunk the issue? I mean, why debunk something unreal? If it's not real, just deny it once and stay silent and let it sink for good. Yet, its top scientists keep publicly trying to debunk and deny Planet X's existence and arrival. I'm talking here about Dr. David Morrison. He is a senior scientist for NASA, and he's recently told the Washington Post that he was sick and tired of having to explain to the world that there is no Planet X, that there never have been a Planet X, and presumably never will be. He supported his claim with the failed 2012 end of the world prophecies. The thing is, doomsday prophecies can never be exact, and a few Earth years is no error at all on a cosmic timeline. Anyway, you can watch him talk about this yourself in the following clip.
Hi, my name is David Morrison. I'm a NASA space scientist, and I want to talk to you very briefly about Nibiru.